Yo, what's going on? Banana Vape over here. Um, I've been meaning to do a new 6 coil build for a while. The only one on my YouTube is a from a long time ago, and I thought it was a shitty video. So I'm gonna do a new one. And I've been messing around with Nichrome, 24 gauge Nichrome. I actually bought it because I got a friend that keeps doing Claptons for me, and he's using his Nichrome as the core. So I figured I'd buy my own spool of it. Like, let me do a 6 coil with it. So why not? So I wrapped up some coils here, and I'm gonna do one on camera. I got 2.25 millimeter drill. It's 089. I'm doing 14 wraps. Now, I know a lot of people are centering their coils. I've been centering mine for a while now, and I saw somewhere that pre-bending them makes them a lot easier. A lot of people just throw them in the Addy and bend it to the center, and it looks all sloppy and probably doesn't perform as well. So my little trick here is, once you have it like this, you take the right lead, your right lead, and you're going to bend it across the coil to your left. So I try to get the needle nose as close to the coil as possible, so there's enough room to bend the tool like this so the tool doesn't hit the coil. Then I hold it in place. And I push the bend forward and bend it downwards so I get a nice clean bend. See, I was spinning around so you could see. See? Now I flip it back around. So now it's in the original position, it's facing me. Then I go halfway across the length of the coil, and with the needle nose, and I bend it upwards like that. See? Now you spin the whole drill around, and you have your lead that's on the right side now, and you're going to bend that one away to your right. But you're going to do the same thing. Once you do the bend, you want to make sure everything's nice and tight. See? See, it's facing away. You put this under here. Now this is the most complicated part, I think, because different Addies have different distances between the post holes. So there's no real way, unless you're using the same Addy over and over and over again, there's no way for you to actually know. But I know with my MutationX that as long as they're all pretty much this length, see? That's how you want it, just like that. MutationX, original MutationX. 3 posts. Now, when I put this in here, it's nice to have enough drills to do this with. I only have 3 this size at the moment. I got to get some more. But you see, once I put it in there, see where the coil is? Perfectly centered. I don't have to bend shit. It's already bent. Everything nice and neat. So now I like to take 2 more of my coils, put them on the drills like so. All from one side. See now, see how they're like laying down? They're angled outwards. You leave them angled outwards, like that. Now, I gotta spin this towards me or I'm gonna fuck it up. While they're in that position, you just grab both ends of the drills and you make sure your bottom one is in the spot that it would be in if you were doing just a regular coil, okay? And then you just stand them up, like you're leaning like a chair up against a wall. You stand them up, and bam, just like that. See? Once you stand them up, position them one above the other perfectly, and lock down your negative. Don't over tighten it because you snap the coil, then you got to start over. Okay? Now, when these leads are sticking out like this, after you lock it down, cut your negatives off, because you don't need them anymore. Then I take the positive ones and I fold them away to the right so they're not in my way. I could take these drills out now because they're not going to go anywhere. And repeat the same thing from the other side. I also like to angle these upwards so they're easier to clip off once everything's in place. I want to have my drill underneath the other leads coming from the other side. There's nothing like trying to snap off the leads when everything's on top of itself. Pain in the ass. This is why I like the MutationX, because my post holes are big enough to fit this build in. I really don't like 4-post addies. For some reason, all their adjustable airflows and stuff. I don't have one with 4 posts that I actually like. So I always use the MutationX because it's fucking awesome. So now it's the same thing. Get everything in position, move it all forward, try to keep these leads out of the way, and then just stand them up. Ooh, that was close. I'm on a fucking napkin. The napkin slipped. Jesus Christ. Alright. Position them. Lock down that negative. Now, I like to take, like I said, it'd be nice to have three drills on each side. I don't have enough drills right now, so I take the top drill out and put it on the bottom, on the second side, on the other side, so nothing twists when I lock down the positive. And it's funny, last time I did this build at work a couple of days ago, and I snapped a coil. Trying to snap the the leads off. I cut one of my coils. I had to start the whole thing over again. So when you get to this point of the build, you want to be real careful not to screw it up. And all the positioning of the wires is so important while you're doing the build. So at the end of the build, you don't have wires touching wires. You don't want anything touching the walls, the deck, the posts. You just want to get everything into spots where nothing's touching anything. I have no idea what this is going to ohm out to. You want to make sure everything is positioned as best you can. And when you go to dry burn it, you want to be careful. You don't want to just fire it like crazy, and then you fucking, something's touching something, and then you snap a coil, and then you got to start over again. This is all trial and error. You know, you learn from your mistakes. All these things I'm pointing out have happened to me repeatedly. Is this not the sexiest thing on the planet right here? Sexy as fuck. Alright. So I got this thing. Hey, look. It's reading 0.09 and I haven't even messed with it'll change when I start to squeeze the coils. I got it at 140 watts. Now I just start at the top very gently. Spin it around. I think every single coil matters when you're doing this. You know, if they're not all lighting up at the same time, that's because you have to mess with every single coil repetitiously, up and down, back and forth. You want to keep positioning them. This takes patience. You got one, like they'll all light up and then one won't. So you got to sit there and mess with it. It doesn't mean that there's not a connection. It just means that they're not the power's not going through all the other coils and into that one coil fast enough. And then I fucking maybe sometimes you want to give an extra snug. You don't want to go too much because you could snap the coils that way. See, this one was slightly loose, just slightly. See that? See how half that coil's lighting up? Oh, I'll get it. It's nice to have a little screwdriver like this. If you're using the drill that you used, the drill's going to get hot and you're going to burn your fingers, because that's happened before. And yes, I am wearing a banana hat on my fucking head. I don't think there's many YouTubers that wear banana hats. Just Banana Vape. You see? It's still not perfect yet. You do not wick this until it's perfect. You know why? Because it'll suck. This is the kind of thing that, you know, directions are here for a reason. Like, I would never wick this until it was perfect. Now watch. This is exactly what you want. That's what you want. All 6 exactly the same time. That's what you want. I did a video the other day about wicking this build, so I'm going to show you right now again. Now, Japanese cotton, Japanese sheet cotton, nice thick cotton, right? You don't want to cut it too thick because you don't want to get it too tight in the coils. You want it snug, but not tight. I'm going to cut 3 strips off of this. One. Now, you see how it's so thick? This would never fit through an 089 hole. Never. You split this perfectly down the center. You go through the bottom coil first. Spin it around. Take the other piece. Now, you want to cut this flush with the side of the deck. Boom. Just like that. You want to take your edges and stick them straight down. Straight down. You do not want the space below the coil being taken up until you drape the top coil down to the well. So now you repeat the same thing on the center coil. Spin it around. Same thing, just slightly longer on each side because you want it to get tucked into the deck. You just don't want a lot of cotton to be built, you know, you don't want it to be so full below the coils that you have nowhere to put your top wick in. You don't want it to be so bunched up. If it's too bunched up, it's not going to absorb the juice correctly. Or the juice, it won't, what am I trying to say? When the cotton absorbs the juice, it expands. Okay? So if it has nowhere to expand, that means it can't hold your juice. That means you get less vapes per drip. How you like them apples? I mean bananas. The top coil is always my favorite because then I'm almost done. Or I am done. See? Now you just want to tuck this down. Tuck it down. And carefully stick it onto your bottom coil, you know, your bottom coil. I like my builds to look as sexy as possible. That's why I take my time wrapping my coils. I take my time setting the coils. You're going to put all this time into a build. You want it to look good. And when you tell somebody, oh, I saw this on the Banana Vape YouTube, you don't want them to be like, well, did his look like shit like this one? No. That's pretty fucking sexy, I must say. I can't even remember what I was vaping on this thing. See this shit? I got a couple of drops of this waffles left. Waffle Man. I've been buying this over at Vape Pro in Selden, where I will be hanging out there around 4 o'clock today. So if anybody out there lives on Long Island, wants to come down and hang out at Banana Vape, and a couple of my friends, feel free. So I'm using this up right now. I'm going to go buy another bottle of it as soon as I get there. You know, they're selling, I think it's like 28 bucks or 30 bucks for a 60 mil of this. You know I'm buying a 60 mil. Do you have any idea how amazing this is going to be? Now, mind you, I've never done this with Nichrome. I don't know how the flavor is with Nichrome. We're going to have to see. See, now it's up to 0.13. .13. Break that shit in. You do this build with Canthol. I normally do it with Canthol. You're talking flavor like no other build. Well, I've never experienced flavor from another build like I do with this build. Okay. And vapor? Kidding me? Fucking smooth, man. Flavor like you're biting into a goddamn waffle smothered in syrup. Damn, Waffle Man should be sending me a fucking jug for this plug. that VG in the throat, though. Fantastic. So, until next time, Banana Vape out. Later, guys.